It is the 4th of July weekend, and I decided I've been wanting to bake some cookies. I have some almond flour that I've had from Costco for quite a while. It's in my fridge, so it's fine. Not going to go bad or anything. But I decided, okay, today's the day. So I turned on the oven and decided to cook a few other things, bake a few other things while I had the oven on. And I will show you what I made. 3 successes and 1 big fat failure. And this video, because of that failure, is brought to you by Ozium. I had to get my can of Ozium spray out and spray the kitchen, and it doesn't smell too bad in here now. And that's my dishwasher going. I apologize, because I'm all done baking, and I made a little kind of a mess in the kitchen, so dishwasher's doing its job. But anywho, this stuff works pretty well, and I will show you what I made, what was delicious. I've eaten 2 of the things. 3 of the things. I made 4 things that were a success and 1 failure. So that's not bad, not bad odds. I'm going to cut up my delicata squash, and evidently all you have to do, cut off this little end. All you have to do is bake it for about 15 or 20 minutes. I always use a little paring knife. This would be a good time to have a larger knife, but I don't have any. I don't like them. I don't have as much control, so I will make this little knife work. Okay. Into little half moon shapes. That's what they called them online. You don't have to peel this squash. When it is cooked, it becomes tender. So I've cut up the squash and little half moon shapes, and I'm going to spray them with olive oil. And I'm not going to flip them over. I've never done this before, but hopefully just spraying one side is enough. And then I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on them. And I'm going to bake them in a 425-degree oven for about 15 or 20 minutes. And we'll see how this goes. And it is a hot day here, so I imagine it's hot where you are too. But I'm going to bake some potatoes in the oven at the same time, and I might make some almond flour cookies while I have the oven on. I rarely turn on my big oven, so we'll see. I wanted to show you, I'm going to make an egg. I have an egg here. I want to eat it for breakfast. And I just took a little muffin tin, little disposable deal, and a cupcake liner, and I sprayed it with oil, and I'm just going to crack the egg right in there. And I'm going to put it in the oven since the oven's on, and I'm going to break the yolk, because I don't like runny yolks. Egg ready to go in the oven, and I don't know how long it'll take in there, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know, but I'm going to take my squash out and put this in. So here's the squash. Looks good. I'm going to move my potatoes down. Egg, right there. So here is the squash. Never made this before. Looks pretty good. I'm just going to cut a piece. It's very soft and tender. And I'll just let it cool a minute and I'll try a bite. It's pretty good. Not a big squash fan, but this isn't bad. Here's the squash. I took it off the pan and put it in this little bowl. I'm going to eat this for breakfast with my egg that I'm cooking in the oven. So, I'm glad I went ahead and took one of these delicata, I don't know how you say it, squashes, because it's pretty tasty. Here's my egg. I baked it in the oven for probably 10 minutes. I didn't really keep track, but I kept looking through the door because I know when you open the oven door, it takes, it takes away baking time. So I try not to open it too much, but I'm opening it to take things out and put things in. Anyway, so this is going to be my breakfast, and I'm going to peel away the paper, and I'll show you what it looks like. Looks like a little thin cupcake. I've been seeing videos, the shorts, about making cottage cheese chips. So I'm just gonna try a few since I have the oven on. And all I'm doing is using cottage cheese. I'm not even gonna put salt and pepper on it because the cottage cheese has, it's, salty enough. And maybe I will sprinkle a little pepper on there. Yes, I do love the pepper. And it makes it pretty. So I would do more of these, but I think they'll probably be best fresh, when they're fresh out of the oven. I have the oven set to 425. Have my potatoes in there and my one egg. So I'm just going to put this pan in, and what I read was to bake them for 40 minutes. So the potatoes need at least that much more time. So look what happened. This is my cottage cheese chips. Could I smell them burning? Yeah, but I didn't think about it. It's like I was watching some cat videos on YouTube. And after a few minutes I got up, looked in the oven, and that's what I saw. I had to bring it outside because it stinks. It's burnt. It's burnt cottage cheese. So if you ever need to make burnt cottage cheese, put it in a 425 degree oven for too long. I wasn't keeping track. I said 40 minutes. Well, that was probably at 350. I don't know. So that was a flop. Goes out of the oven. I'm pretty sure they're done. I will enjoy these. I'll probably just heat them back up in the microwave. I could have just cooked them in the microwave, but I like the way they taste better from the oven. And I could have done more. I should have done more, but it's okay. Three's good. I made some cookie dough using almond flour. I'm going to break off some and roll them into little balls, like so. And I'm just going to add some chocolate chips to the little balls as I finish them. And I think this is supposed to make about 12. I may make them a little smaller because a lot of times when I make sweets, I don't need very much. So I'd rather have more cookies than like really big ones. I'm going to just put some chocolate chips. Maybe I'll leave a few plain. I don't know, but I'm just going to squash them down. I really do love chocolate chip cookies, so most of them will get chocolate chips. We'll see. I just poured some out in this bowl, and I won't get any more. We'll just use what I have and see how long they last. Just going to smash them down. Whoa, get back here. I think all of these are pretty well mashed. Whoops, there's one back there. Okay, I'm going to put them in a 350-degree oven for, I don't know how long. I'm going to keep really close track of them after the cottage cheese incident. So I'll show them to you when I'm done. When they're done. Here are my cookies. I've let them sit for a few minutes, and I'm just going to take them off the pan and onto the cooling rack. So these are almond flour cookies, and I anticipate them being delicious, but they're too hot right now. I'll let them cool and fix a fresh cup of coffee and enjoy one in a little bit. But they only take 4 ingredients: butter, egg, sugar, and almond flour. And then I added some chocolate chips to most of them. So let me know if you have turned your oven on in this summer heat, or if you're just not using it, because this is the first time I've had mine on in weeks, if not maybe even a month or more. I don't use it very often anyway because of my air fryer. I use it instead. Today I just felt like fixing some things that I needed the big oven for, so I did it, and it's okay. The house will cool down eventually. It's fine. It's fine. My kitchen's over there by itself. It's not near the thermostat, so it's gonna be fine. My air has not even clicked on yet this morning because it cools down at night, and I open up the house and let some fresh air in, which was a good thing with the burnt smell from the cottage cheese chips. I'm glad I only made 3. What a disaster. But live and learn. And I did look at the recipe, and it should have been, the oven should have been on 350 for only 15 minutes. So I had the oven too hot and I left them in too long. Operator error. It happens. So I hope you have a good 4th of July weekend and bake something, or go to the store and get something baked, you know, or just eat whatever sounds good to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Check these out. They would have been just lovely, but no, I had to burn them. Nice and lacy, black lace.